to love Sunday's Super Bowl matchup, which means it's time for a little fantasy matchup maker Las Vegas edition. There's a whole lot to love about this game, but there are some players that we may not be ready to commit to, right? Who are you smitten with? Brandon Ayuk, by chance.
Yeah, we're going to start with him, Katie. His matchup is as bad as some of the singing we're hearing out on the Las Vegas Strip right now. L'Jarius Sneed, that's what it comes down to, and we don't know if he's going to shadow. He said Spagnuolo hasn't told him if he's shadowing yet, but come on. He's shadowing, 52% catch rate allowed on the season, 10.2 yards per catch, 0 touchdowns in 737 routes covered. And yes, Ayuk had the catch off of Kendall Vildor's helmet, but he's only had 3 catches in both playoff games, 3 catches each. Right now, 4.5 is his line, minus 166 to the under. I don't like this matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I feel kind of bad because I love Brandon Ayuk, right? He is the Niners' deep ball threat. He's the guy that lives outside the numbers. The only problem is the Chiefs play a lot of man coverage, and that's just not his sweet spot. Against zone, 71% completion percentage. That drops down to 63% versus man, and he might be paired up against Sneed.
Yeah, that's tough right there.
Tough. All right, what about next?
Travis Kelce. I actually do like this matchup.
Oh.
I like it a lot. So we saw Sam Laporta, right, in the conference championship round, goes 9 for 97 in that game, had his way. Tucker Kraft got in the end zone in the divisional round. Heck, we go back to week 15. Trey McBride put up 10 for 102. So they do have a little bit of a weakness against tight end. We've heard a lot of talk about the zone coverage as well. So Kelce's going to find his way. He's going to pick his spots there. I really like this for him. 71.5 is the line, and I think he goes way over.
So I think that any playoff game for Travis Kelce is going to be a good matchup for him, but I did find a place to fade him. I like him under the 6.5 for his receptions. I just feel like, Jeff, this is an overreaction to how well he played in the AFC Championship game. We know 11 of 11, 116 yards and a score, but he's going up against the San Francisco 49ers linebackers with Fred Warner and also Dre Greenlaw. I think it's going to be tougher for him through the middle. I like him for 6 receptions, not 7. So time now for my Bay from the Bay, Mr. Brock Purdy.
I have bad news for you, Katie. This is not a good matchup, but we know the Kansas City Chiefs defense has been excellent against the pass. They have allowed just 6 passing touchdowns over their last 8 games. The last quarterback to throw for more than 1 in a game was Jordan Love. That's back in week 13. 57 sacks on the season. You got Chris Jones, George Karlaftis coming after him like crazy. It's a really tough spot for Brock Purdy. I do not like the matchup.
But here's the thing, Jeff. It's a tough spot for any quarterback to go against the Kansas City Chiefs pass defense. They allowed under 200 yards on average to all of their quarterbacks going up against them this season. So I agree with you. I like him under the 245.5 for his passing yards. I think we see a lot of Christian McCaffrey, which brings me to Christian McCaffrey. What do you think?
I actually, it's not a great matchup, but I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Good matchup. And here's the thing. Do what the Raiders did against this defense. The Raiders, both Josh Jacobs and Zamir White, went over 100 yards against Kansas City. It's 89.5 is the line right now. Minus 125 to the over, though, and he's going to pound the rock. He's going to find his spots, and he's going to go over that line.
Christian McCaffrey for MVP. Christian McCaffrey over on his rushing yards. Christian McCaffrey over on his receiving yards. This is his game because if you think about it, the Kansas City Chiefs haven't exactly faced a good rushing team, and Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the league. Now, it has been love at first sight for Mahomes and Rashee Rice. What about on Sunday?
I actually like the spot for him, and it all comes down to his matchup yet again. Diamador Lenore in the slot, 69% catch rate allowed, 11.3 yards per catch. We saw 9 targets for Rashee Rice in the conference championship round. His line is 6.5 now. He is juiced to the under on that one, but I don't think he needs to catch 9 balls to be effective. He could catch 6 and still be very effective here.
I also like him to get an anytime touchdown. You can find that at plus 140 because just like you said, he is the primary target for Mahomes outside of Kelce, who I think is going to have his hands full. All right, who doesn't love a Chiefs rushing attack? And Pacheco is one of them. What do you think?
All right, well, this is a tough spot as well. The San Francisco defense is very good. 4th worst matchup for running backs in a regular season. If you look at fantasy production, 64.5 rushing yards per game allowed. That's the 2nd lowest in the league. Now, his line is 67.5. He is juiced to the over, but it's going to take volume for him to get that over. He's going to have to go 20 plus. He's not going to have a lot of room to run.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Katie, I got a wager that is hotter than the guys from the Thunder Down Under. Kyle Juszczyk, over 4.5 yards. You know I love me a one-play payday. This is minus 125. Of course, he had the 33 yards in the conference championship game. When Brock Purdy has to improvise, Kyle Juszczyk is his guy. This wager is my play.
I love that, and I'm still recovering from the Thunder Down Under comment you just made. My first hit is I'm looking who is going to score first, and Jeff, I got to give the edge to the San Francisco 49ers here. They have scored first in 13 of 17 regular season games versus the Chiefs, who only scored first on 9 occasions. Now, in the postseason, this did flip off a little bit. However, I do think if the 49ers are going to win this game, which I think will happen, they got to come out fast, they got to score first.
And we can stack a bet here, too. If they're going to score first, chances are it's a running back or wide receiver. 21 times in Super Bowl history, it's been a running back to score first. 23 times it's been a wide receiver. So that gives us McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk. Plus 370, plus 850, 11 to 1.
I like them all.
Stack it up,
I like
stack
them
it
all.
up. All right, how about another one here? Let's get Noah Gray over 1.5 receptions, minus 115 to the over. We saw 2 catches against Baltimore, 3 against Buffalo. He has 8 targets over the last 2 games. We know Kelsey's going to get the rock a lot. We know Rashee Rice is going to get a lot of looks. But there's got to be another guy, and Noah Gray has been that other guy for Patrick Mahomes here recently.
I absolutely love that. Now, I'm going to put this one all on red. Big red, Andy Reid to throw the first challenge flag. Now, Andy Reid just throws more flags than Shanahan does. 61 flags thrown in 11 years with the Chiefs. He's thrown 5 flags this season. He's been successful in 4 of those. Shanahan has only thrown 3. And if we think back to that Super Bowl with the Eagles and the Patriots, he threw not 1, but 2 challenge flags.
And he likes those challenge flags like he likes those chicken nuggies in that commercial. 5.8 challenge flags per year in his career. Let's go over to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Katie, question. How many carries do you think he has?
Ooh, 5.
If he has 5, he's way over 6.5.
Okay.
6.5 rushing yards, minus 110. Now, he only had the 1 yard against Baltimore, but he goes for 31 against Buffalo, 21 against Miami. I think all he needs is 2 to hit that over. This feels like a very easy play.
That feels like a very easy play. Another very easy play is the coin toss. What is more Super Bowl than betting on the coin toss? It's 50-50. The odds are at even money for heads and for tails. Now, interestingly enough, heads is getting 54% of bets right now, but you've always heard tails never fails, right?
Right.
That's not exactly true, but it's close. Tails has a 30-27 edge in the history of betting on this, so I'm going to roll the dice with tails here. 7
of the last 10 have been tails. But this is very, very important. You need this to be plus 100. It cannot be minus 105, minus 110, minus 115. If it's minus 105, you need to hit 51.2% of the time in order to be profitable. The odds are against you. You're losing long term because you can only be 50-50 over the long term. Also, by the way, teams to win the toss are 25 and 32. So that one is maybe an in-game nugget to have for you there. Let's flip over to another player prop here. Jawan Jennings, over 1.5 receptions. You get positive odds here, plus 114 for the over on this one. And again, this is let's play the odds. At least 2 targets each of the last 2. Now, is he going to have 8 catches? No, but he doesn't need 8 catches for us to hit the over. And again, when Brock Purdy has to scramble around a little bit with that pass rush coming after him, he's going to be looking at Jennings. Mind you, Jennings also has a much better matchup from a cornerback standpoint than Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel.
I love Jennings in this one, and this is my favorite novelty prop. Okay, you can bet on this. Will there be a doink on Sunday? It's a plus 800. My money is on yes. And what I love about this is CBS is treating fans to something that has never been done before. We got a big bus coming along here, but guys, there's going to be a doink in this game because CBS has 6 cameras inside the upright. So you're going to have advanced technology. You're going to be able to see a doink like never before. And Harrison Butker did have a doink in the last Super Bowl.
Yeah, we've seen some doinks, 3 doinks in the last 11 years. Let's go for a doink here.